30 days from now, I'll be famous on YouTube. Is that a bold statement? In today's video, we're going to be talking about something a little more serious, so please bear with me as I try to last this entire video without making a racist remark. Back in my day, when I started doing YouTube 7 years ago... Holy shit. It's been 7 years? Anyway, 7 years ago, YouTube was a very different landscape than what it is now. Not only could you say the N-word publicly on YouTube and be praised for it, but you could rest assured that people who were posting on YouTube were just doing it for fun. To many people back then, it was just a hobby. Now, I think if you compare the YouTube of today to the YouTube of back then, the two are almost unrecognizable from each other. In this day and age, an overwhelming amount of people want to be famous on social media or want some kind of fame somewhere in their social media lives. And there's a crazy study done between, I think it was 7 and 17-year-olds, and they asked them what they wanted to do most in life. What was their dream job? And most of them, I think it was 75% of them said they wanted to be a YouTuber or social media influencer of some kind. That is just fucking crazy, man. But I get it. You become an E-tier celebrity, you get rich, and you have a super lax schedule. You're basically your own boss. Plus, you have millions upon millions of people that love you. So, I get it. It is pretty enticing. But with so many people coming onto social media with dreams in their eyes of becoming famous YouTubers, famous social media influencers, you get a very bad change to the market that I don't think a lot of people realize. I think the best example of this is on YouTube with optimization. So when I say the word optimization, that might perk the ears of anybody who's a fellow YouTuber out there. But for those who don't know, optimization is basically making the YouTube video as watchable as possible. Think of Mr. Beast, for example. He is the perfect example of YouTube optimization, where every single thing is done for a reason, and you're never left to think for a second on a Mr. Beast video. In the case of YouTubers, you get a lot of content that just doesn't feel genuine. You get a lot of YouTubers who think that they need to change every single thing about their content in order to be watchable, in order for people to enjoy them. And I just don't think that's the case, and I think it's very sad that people think that way these days. I mean, back then in the day, even I used to think that I needed to optimize my content, and I went through the exact same thing that a lot of Mr. Beast clones go through, where they're like, how can I make this where the viewer doesn't have even a second to rest their eyeballs? How can I make so many edits where it's like giving them epilepsy? The style just doesn't feel authentic. It feels very shallow and it feels hollow. Hollow and shallow is the perfect way to describe it. But I don't know. That could just be my YouTube boomer mentality, you know? Like here, I'll show you guys a video I did years ago. Actually, I think it was last year. Are you ready for this shit? Prepare your eyeballs to be blasted. Boo! Happy Halloween, yo. Can we get a round of applause for consistent... Dude, I was so cute back then. What the fuck happened? How did we go from this cute little guy to this? How did that happen? Like, it looks like I went down a fucking drug-induced path of life. It looks like I dropped out of high school and went, fuck it, I'm going into the trades. We're gonna take this video level by level. We're gonna start with some really basic tier shit to try and get me scared. So yeah, anyway, you get the idea. The editing is super aggressive, doesn't give you time to think. The video is kind of terrible, but anyway, that's the whole idea behind that optimization technique that I just was talking about. Is it an engaging video? Yeah. Did I want to kill myself after editing it for 5 hours? You're goddamn right I did. But I just feel like social media today doesn't have the same authenticity that it used to. And again, that could just be me being a boomer, but it kind of makes me sad. Because again, YouTube used to be about self-expression, and now it's more just about jamming as much money in all caps as you can into the title of your videos. And yeah, I don't know, it just makes me sad, man. What really started making me think about this whole thing was TikTok. Now, we all know how brain-rotting TikTok is, and we know how awful the algorithm is. But man, it has been crazy watching TikTok and seeing what lengths people will go to get famous. Actually, no, not even famous, just getting some attention online. It's almost actually a toxic relationship, because these kids will do literally whatever they can just to get their next hit of fucking TikTok fame. It's crazy to me, and it's a totally different world from what I grew up in. Everything nowadays is about getting as much attention as possible, and it makes me believe that social media just isn't as genuine as it used to once be. Which brings me to my title. 30 days from now, I will be YouTube famous. People are no longer doing this website as a hobby or an interest. They're just doing it as an effort to be famous, get money, get bitches, and some other primal need, I don't know. But it's not about having fun anymore. And you see all these videos on YouTube calculating how to get famous, how to get more views, all that shit. These kids are calculating when they're gonna get famous like they're in a grade 12 calculus class. It's fucking nuts, man. And I think it sucks because YouTube, I think at the end of the day, should be all about having fun. I think that's what kind of really elevates the viewing experience for the viewers. And also, it elevates the experience of the content creator because you see all the time these YouTubers are burned out. Mind you, most of them have been doing it for many years. But those YouTubers that only do it for a couple years, you see them get burnt out over nothing. And I really think that could be avoidable if people just had fun making what they were making. Anyway, I really wanted to talk about this because I have been around since the very first generation of YouTube, or at least the generation of famous YouTubers way back in 2010. And it's a far cry from what YouTube is now today. And it makes me sad to see, but I am kind of hopeful that YouTube will take a turn to become better and become wholesome again. But that probably won't happen. That's just fucking wishful thinking. And yeah, that's enough of old man yells at cloud, I think. So, I'll see you fuckers tomorrow.